Hey everybody, this is Alzorath, and welcome to another bonus Diablo 2 video. Today we're taking a look at a Wind Druid. You may notice the layout is slightly different from the previous ones I'm experimenting with, including the stats and skills and stuff like that over on the left, so if you don't want to listen to my monologue, you can actually just write those down and actually go for that in your build and just be on your way if you really want to. Or you can stick around and we can have an explanation as to why things are the way they are with this character. But this is the Wind Druid. This is going to be... I might do a Fire Druid eventually, but there is a reason why those are less popular. This is the Wind Druid, probably one of the more popular Druid builds, but slightly less popular than, say, like some of the Sorceress builds like Blizzard Sorceress or Pit Zerker for Barbarians or Hammerdens. They're good. These are really solid characters and can go pretty much anywhere in the game, thanks to having physical and cold be their main damage sources. We also have a fairly decent mercenary over there who has Infinity, Fortitude, and Andariel's Visage. I transfer that onto most of the mercenaries unless I mention otherwise. That's pretty much what I'm going to be guaranteed to be using on a mercenary because it's just so dang strong. But we also have a bear in this build. So anyway, gonna go ahead and jump into the stats. You basically just want enough for your gear, which we need to have 156 base strength to wear our shield, so enough strength there, enough dexterity for a flail. We can get a 4-socket flail that we're using right now, so we need a little bit of dexterity for that. You can get it from equipment. I have it on base just because I like doing that, and the rest into vitality. You don't need to put into energy. This build is not terrible on the mana. You'll go down as you're fighting, but you generally won't run out because it'll come up in between battles. I do use something to help with that as well, and it's pretty easy to get resistances on this build too. So anyway, with that out of the way, let's actually look at the equipment that we're getting the stats for. It's not too extreme, honestly. The most extreme thing is going to be our Spirit Monarch. You'll see this on a lot of caster builds, and it's just because it's +2 skills, faster cast rate, it has okay resists on it. It doesn't have all resist, but it has okay resist. It doesn't give you any fire resist. But beyond that, it's just good. It has faster hit recovery and all that fun jazz. Unfortunately, we can't get enough faster cast to really get a teleport down low, so I don't tend to use Enigma. Instead, I use Chains of Honor. Enigma would be good if you like teleport, but I generally won't use teleport unless I can get it below 10 frames per second, and that's why you'll often hear me say I don't like teleport. This also gives us 65% resist all, and it gives us the same damage reduction, gives us a little bit less magic find, but considering that I can easily hit my goal of 250 plus magic find, it's fine, because it's right around it's below 250 that you hit the double unique rate. It's up at 1,000 that you hit triple. So generally speaking, between there, you're going to get incremental increases, but you're not going to get an amazing one. So 250 is my goal, and anything above that is just icing on the cake. I won't sacrifice killing speed for that, unless I'm doing specifically a boss killer. So anyway, we've got the Shaco for another +2 skills, decent amount of life and mana, 75% magic find because we have an ist in it. It's 50% without. You could use a Cham or however you want to pronounce it in here to actually get Cannot Be Frozen if you are really interested in that. I personally don't mind on this character getting frozen, so it doesn't bother me. There are a few characters it matters on, but this one, not so much. It's fine. So, and Frozen just slows down your casting speed, and this character doesn't really rely on it too much. We have enough for what we do, though. War Travelers, a little bit more magic find because I don't really have a desire for any other boots. We actually have 2 Stones of Jordan, transferred over from another character for this particular thing. We also have an Arachnid Mesh, which is +1 skills and 20% faster cast rate. You'd think with all this faster cast, we'd actually have enough to actually get to the 10 frame breakpoint, but we don't. It takes a lot. And actually, I would rather have 9, but even still, I'm not really interested in teleport on this character because you just go around killing swaths of enemies. You have Mage Fist here. Now, some people will be like, you're not a Fire Druid. Why are you using that? It's basically because it's between this and Trangul's, and this gives us the regenerate mana boost, whereas Trangul's gives us cold resist. I don't need cold resist, so I go for the regenerate mana. Other stats are kind of superfluous. +1 fire skills would be nice if I was using fire, but I'm not. And then we have Heart of the Oak as our weapon here. This is another really good weapon just to have like a few of sitting in your mules. It's +3 all skills. It's really, well, really not really cheap. Vex is going to be a pain in the butt to get. Koa Pole are okay to get, but Vex, you generally want at least one of these floating around your collection though, as soon as you get a Vex to actually make it. But +3 all skills, 40% faster cast rate. It is variable faster cast rate, if I remember correctly. I might be wrong on that. No, I'm thinking of Spirit. Spirit's variable. Heart of the Oak is not. This has Oak Sage and Raven charges that you'll never use, and it has a little bit of resistances, and it's nice. It's just a nice little weapon to have around for, you know, anything that needs plus skills and faster cast. So it works out great. So we use that. Heart of the Oak. Good go there. And up here we just have Morrow's Kaleidoscope because it's resists and plus skills. You could get a much better like crafted caster amulet. I just don't have one, so we're using this. The thing you'd be looking for a caster amulet would be +2 all skills, or +2 all druid skills, or +2 to the caster skills, although 2 to all skills is better because you are using summons on this. You want resists on it, and you'd want faster cast, because that will work with your tornadoes if you can hit another breakpoint with it. Not necessarily required, but it's nice. Magic Find is nice on it as well if you're making a caster amulet. But that's the base gear. You can put the, I don't have it on here right now, the weapon that gives you battle orders and battle command. And you could use those on the swap to actually give yourself even more life. Right now, we're going to have plenty of life, so I'm not too concerned about it. And I just have trash charms on here right now, just because I wanted to fill up that space so you'd know what it looks like. You can use plus skill charms to actually do a lot more damage with this. So if you have the skillers available, definitely use them. So that's one of those good things. I have terrible luck getting skillers. I only have a few for each class. So they generally just get relegated to characters that I'm leveling rather than characters that I'm doing like Magic Find and stuff on. So this one, as far as skills go, you're going to want to do your elemental tree first and then move into summoning. You may notice what I focused on there. But in the elemental tree, you want 1 point in Arctic Blast. Do not put anything else in this. It is not a good skill. It's garbage. It's pants. As far as like the other skills, you do want 20 Cyclone Armor, and we'll explain that in a minute. You want 20 Twister, 20 Tornado, which are skills that you're going to actively use, and you're going to want 20 Hurricane. Now you may notice down here at the bottom of Hurricane, and in these as well, you actually get a bonus to damage from Tornado and Hurricane in the Twister. You get a bonus to damage from Cyclone Armor, Twister, and Hurricane on the Tornado, so it's decent, and it's all physical damage. It's 4,000 to 4,230 physical damage, so that's where your physical damage comes in. And you also have boost to damage from Twister and Tornado in Hurricane, but you also have that +2 seconds per level in Cyclone Armor, and this is why you do Cyclone Armor, so you can have an almost minute-long Hurricane. So you're casting Hurricane, and you're just casting it once every minute, and the rest of the time you're using Tornado and Twister to amplify damage, which is absolutely amazing. It works out great. Hurricane just keeps things off of you while those two do all the actual work. For killing things, you want to use Tornado as your main attack and Twister to kind of give your mercenary some breathing room and give your bear some breathing room and even you some breathing room, because it has a stun length of 0.4 seconds and it doesn't have to do damage to stun. So it does work on physical immunes too, so you can stun them while you're sitting there with Hurricane and bash them down. And that 0.4 seconds really sucks in hell difficulty, but it's enough. It's not great, it's just enough. Now, that's all the points you need to spend into this tree. And if I actually do a fire build, you'll probably notice that I treat the Armageddon skill much the same way I'm going to treat Hurricane, which is it is an AoE skill that you just want to have constantly running while you are doing work with other skills. So yeah, that's going to be the main difference between the two if I actually do end up showing a fire one. They both have their strengths and weaknesses. This one, since we don't have a need for any more than these 4 skills, we have extra points left over. So we can start investing in other things. Fire, you require more investment, so you might not get a bear. In this, we have 1 point in pretty much everything. I did put a couple extra points into Direwolf because I wanted the bear over 3,500 life. But if you don't care about that, just dump all the points into the bear and then dump into the Direwolf afterwards. You could dump into Oak Sage to make it a little more durable, but it's never going to be extremely durable. It's just there. But the bear gives you a nice beefy tank that does actually a decent amount of damage. You can see its damage there. And with the Mercenary's Conviction, it is going to hit more often than not because the Conviction is high enough that it lowers the enemy defense substantially, and the bear is the same level as you. So yeah, it's going to be able to smack the living crap out of the enemies just pretty easily. And that is kind of the loadout for this character. It's a relatively short video so far. And like I said, Mercenary is just the Infinity, Fortitude, and Dariel's Visage that we've been passing around to everybody. It's just a brutally good combo. There are better ones out there, but this is just for the kind of builds that I use, it just works great for most of them. So whenever you come out of here, you'd want to do like your battle orders and battle command if you were doing that. But you also want to turn on your hurricane and turn off your sound, because this will get annoying very quickly. Yeah, it's one of the most irritating. I also have cyclone armor that I sometimes use. I always forget to recast it. It's in there though. But this will get on your nerves as you're playing this, and you can recast it every now and then. And what we want to do is we want to come up here. We'll show it off on these guys. Generally speaking, this character is probably going to be used in like the the Forgotten Tunnels or whatever it is, the one underneath Lost City in Act 2. That's one of the most popular places to run with this character. He can run pretty much anywhere though. He's not so great versus actual bosses so much as taking out areas with super uniques and stuff like that. So it's pretty fun to do that. We got some junk here. We got a Hyperion Javelin and a Battle Scythe. Experience Shrine, yay! But what you basically do is you run around and you tornado and twister everything you can find. Let's actually go down here and we'll kill Shank as well, because I don't feel like wandering around looking for a ton of enemies just off screen. It's kind of irritating to do that. You can see that this doesn't stun them for very long, but it's decent enough to actually get you through stuff, and there's that 1 minute mark. So we recast. Now we just get up here, and if you're using Tornado, generally what I generally do is if I'm point blank on something, I will drop out the Tornado. If I am further away, I'll drop out the Twisters and get them stunned and then close ground. So they're stunned whenever I actually get up there, and you can see we're just murdering things. Yeah, this is players 1, but usually the goal that you want with this kind of magic finding is players 3, and this character can do that really easily to just kind of punch their way through on things. So it works out pretty good, and I would definitely recommend it for someone who is wanting to play a druid, doesn't exactly know what build they want to do. Like, they want to play a caster druid, but they aren't sure whether they want fire or wind. And yes, whenever you get into town, you lose the hurricane. It just goes away. But it's for someone that wants to just play a caster druid and want something consistent and damaging. You could do this with junk gear as well, and it's still fairly decent. You just generally want to eventually upgrade to, you know, better stuff. Let's see if those are any good. No, and no. And no, plus skillers are not the only good grand charms, just in case anyone's wondering. That's actually not terrible. Might have to, it doesn't have replenished quantity. Otherwise, it would be awesome. But yeah, anyway. I think that's all I really have to say on this. And as far as places in Lost City to run, you can see that I have a lot of maps revealed on this guy. And yes, we can kill pretty much everything really easily. You can see just how quickly that tornado tears through things and how quickly our spirit just gets wasted here. Dark Elder, not a problem. Spirit is going to die, so we just go ahead and cast a new one, heal our mercenary, and just be on our way. And yeah, the bear just almost never dies. The bear outlasts the mercenary. That's how tanky I wanted him to be. Our life is around 2,000, so we don't have to worry about anything. And yeah, it's Ancient Tunnels. There you go. This place, pretty good magic find. I have a bad layout here, but you can actually do this with some good layouts and actually get some amazing things from here. You don't want to go into places with lots of cold immunes, obviously, but you can still handle them relatively easy because you are doing physical damage. Physical immunes generally aren't going to last versus you because, well, the cold damage rips through them, as you can see. It just is consistently pain in the ass for them. So, yeah. If you guys enjoyed this, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and that's going to be the end of the Druid one. Hopefully you like the new layout. If you be sure to tell me what you think of that. I would appreciate feedback on it. But yeah, keep gaming, have fun, peace out. This has been Alzorath, and I will see you guys next time on another build video, or even the normal Let's Plays of Diablo 2. Bye.